Alright, so I'm on Sanibel. It's September 10th, Sunday. My 4K camera is still giving me a problem here. It's like turning itself off right after I turn it on. So hopefully it'll stay on because I rely on the 4K camera to provide me with the beautiful video that it takes. I don't rely on sound, but if it can't give me the beautiful video, then there's a sense in even having it. So anyway, Jerry's here in Sanibel, and since we were denied going to the lighthouse last weekend because they closed it down because of Hurricane Idalia, I'm kind of curious to see what it's like now. Coming here, I did see it was high tide, so that's unfortunate. But low tide on Fort Myers Beach yesterday was sometime around 11 o'clock, so it's about 9:45 right now. So by the time we get to the lighthouse, maybe 30 minutes, that'll be 10:15. It may be turning to low tide, but anyway, hopefully I'm just hoping this 4K camera stays on. I was charging it pretty much all last night, so I just don't want to think about it. But we'll see how long the video takes. It said it turned on. It says it turned on, but I don't. And it's flashing right now, so it is recording. So we'll see. I guess I'm just not gonna try to mess with it too much. Just get it stationary here. Get it aligned. I got my other camera on. And my 2K camera that records good audio, but the video is wavy. Yesterday I had to go with wavy video. And that's the thing. I need one camera that does both good video and good audio. So the backup camera could just be that, a backup camera. And I don't have to use one camera for video and one camera for sound. But you never know this stuff when you buy it. All the specifications when you see it on the packaging say, "Oh, this is the best camera," but they don't tell you that like this 4K camera, there's only one microphone and points straight down. I mean, why does it point straight down? Why couldn't it point either like up or why can't you put like an external microphone on it so I could like record? I could put a microphone on my hat and just record. But no, that's the way they designed it. So it records my wheels. It records my gear shifting, my braking. Hello. 7-Eleven's still closed here. So there's a lot of real estate on Sanibel that's still available. Sanibel is still dead, and what I've noticed, I like this piece of property too. Anything with an aluminum roof. Billy Bicycles is open, but they're dead right now. But that's all pure profit there. They own that. And those bicycles, they've paid for those bicycles 100 times over already, so they're not losing any money, and they're probably getting some kind of federal subsidy for being open and waving the flag. Right? Across the street, that antique store, I like that. It was destroyed, probably smells like mildew and disgusting inside, but it's got an aluminum roof, and it's a big building, so I could divide that building in half. So, of course, Sanibel is always against cutting down vegetation, but that's what that thing needs. It needs just a nice, clean haircut. Although I probably would, you know how that is. All depends how much I get the building for. And they probably want an exorbitant amount of money. I try to keep the bicycling speed up because it's a beautiful morning. Look at that big iguana. So iguanas now are a staple of Sanibel. They're all over the place here. Back 40 years ago, there was absolutely no iguanas in Southwest Florida. And you can see an alligator or two. I think the iguanas now are becoming, alligators here usually would hunt on the There used to be tons of rabbits on Sanibel. I don't see that many rabbits anymore here. I guess that hurricane Ian wiped them out. But eventually there will be some rabbits that will get loose or whatever and start repopulating the island here. Or some may have lucked out. The alligator population is suffering because of that. You see my camera here is dripping down. I keep on raising it. So I like a lot of business opportunities here on Sanibel. Right here on the right hand side, this is the old Anchorage Hotel. Now, it's made out of wood, and I don't know, it's not occupied. It's just private property, no trespassing. The pool is fenced off. A lot of the doors are open. I don't see any work being done, but then again, this is a Sunday. And they want an exorbitant amount of money. Here's the old Jacaranda. This thing used to be a landmark for decades. It's for sale, obviously, on the right-hand side here. And then I forget whether it was right here or I think it was right up here. It used to be Scotty's. Used to be a gas station here. Used to have Scotty's Thursday aid station. Now you have a business open. It's called the Shack. And they got the best deals now, so they're trying to steal the Island Cow's reputation. And then this building right here, this is the Huckster's Deli. This has been here too for 50 plus years. I like this office right here. I have to figure out what's going on, because it's not being occupied by Hucksters at the moment, although they probably will. I mean, Hucksters, they could easily open up a little hardware store or a separate liquor store. That would be it. So, I'm gonna check it out. Do my research. The problem is that research takes so long. You know, you have to do research because the prices are so high. By the time you finish your research, bingo, someone's bought it. And that's the problem. There's a lot of people with a lot of money, and they don't mind if they waste it. And a lot of people are spending money that it's not theirs. That's even more upsetting because I have to spend my money. That's pretty good. That's an electric bike, so she's pedaling. So it's pedal assist, but the electric bike is carrying 2 people and her, and they're going almost twice as fast that I'm pedaling. Yeah, that says a lot. Beverly Lane RV park. Which, I mean, if you have to live on the island and work, that's one of the best places to live. It's the most affordable. You're going to get taxed the least. So, not too bad. This Dairy Queen still says there's a contract on it, but it's not reopened. So I don't blame them. There's nobody here on the island, really. There's not enough people. And $9 across the bridge is ridiculous. If you're a tourist, you stay at Fort Myers Beach. Anyway, I like this building here. It's got an aluminum roof. That's the old Sanibel Captiva Bank of the Islands, or whatever. Or Sanibel Captiva Community Bank, I should say. And I like this Tommy Norris furniture building. Although I would repaint the roof and the walls and just about, I'd repaint everything about it. But I think it's built sturdy. It's got wooden pillars holding up the roof. But it's probably stinks galore inside. But I like the storm shutters, and I could do all the work. I like the challenge, and I would spend the $750 to. The problem with that is that it has its own power pole. I'd have to spend more than $750 to bury the power. But hey, if I got the building for a good price, I'm also looking at this gasoline station here. This is a gasoline station. It's not working, but it's configured as a gasoline station. If I can get this gasoline station working, I don't know. There's probably some more rules, regulations that you have to raise the gasoline station. You have to put a triple puncture proof. Whatchamacallit? They cost like $900,000. The submerged tanks that hold gasoline. They have to be triple puncture proof or something. So I don't know what the deal is there, but that gasoline station is just sitting there. That's a sad thing too, because they need another gasoline station here now. There's just one. 7-Eleven closed down their gasoline station, and then so that was a minus. Actually, a -2. The little gasoline station down by Blind Pass. There was just a little tiny one back there, mostly just for boats, but people were filling up with cars. It had I think it was 2 gas tanks or maybe just one, and people were filling up with their cars over there. That was like the last resort, but the prices were high. But that thing only stayed around for a couple weeks or whatever. And there was some fueling in South Seas. I'm trying to think. Again, most of it is for boats, but you could roll up with your car. And then even over here at Yachtsman, over here at the marina, there was a refilling tank. Again, mostly for boats, but you could fill it up if you were in a car, if you wanted to pay the exorbitant prices. But all those are closed. Now it's just, basically you gotta get your fuel before you come on the island. And, I had like maybe a tablespoon of eggs this morning, so I didn't get enough protein. I thought I'd work on some of the fat that I have. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm experimenting at home with cooking with olive oil and pickle juice on low heat, extremely low heat. So I'm dicing up like white, what are they called, Italian onions or something like that, and then I dice up some turkey franks. 4 turkey franks, I dice that really good. And this working camera doesn't want to stay still. And then I simmer that with just a little bit of olive oil, and I even give it a dash of hot sauce because I like it hot. And then I put in just maybe 6 tablespoons if 6, maybe 4 tablespoons of pickle juice, and I'm telling you, it makes for a no-stick situation. But the eggs come out really light, and you don't burn away the taste. And I don't know, you feel good afterwards. It just cleans you out, and it actually improves your vision a little bit. Not initially. Initially, all that pickle juice in your system causes your eyes to become a little more blurry, but after about 12 hours, I've noticed your vision then all of a sudden gets clearer. Oh, well, that's a good thing. So it's like cleaning out the whole system. So definitely when they talk about adding vinegar to your diet, pickle juice, vinegar, pretty much the same thing. I hear what they're saying, and there's some truth behind that. So I'm saying that you just take a teaspoon of vinegar every morning in your water or whatever. I personally, I would not drink wine, that's for sure. Although I do admit I went out and bought a bottle of wine the other day, only because I wanted to test it. Because I'm not really a wine drinker. I know sugar is bad for you. But I'm more of a spritzer. I like making little spritzers. So whether I make a lemonade spritzer, and again, I don't really use much lemonade. Just if I get lemons real cheap, for whatever, a nice big bag for $2 or less, or limes $2 or less, I'll buy that. And I really like squeezing my own. It just tastes that much better. And with one lemon, you get sometimes 4 to 5 drinks out of it, so it's not too bad. Four to five glass-sized drinks out of it. So again, if you're watching this video, and you want to go into business as a partner with me, I'm all for it. I'm just a workaholic, and I expect the same. Unless you want to be a silent partner, you want me to do all the work, and you're going to supply most of the money. That's okay too. I don't mind that, as long as if I got to put 50% of the money in, then it's 50% of the work. I'm workaholic. But if you want to provide 80 to 100% of the money, and you want a partner that's going to do all the work, no problem. Understood. So again, I would only buy something, or if I had to fix something here and now, I want an aluminum roof, and I don't want a galvalume. Galvalume only if that's the last case. And this building here, I like this. Got this old Spanish barrel tile, but that's minor. This is on the side of the building. The building itself is built structurally sound, and the footing that's building on, I can see it right now, 9 inches of concrete. It's pretty good. Again, it's only raised to escape those minor storms, those Idalia storms, those. I'm trying to think what storm it escaped here. Hurricane Keith storm. It would have just escaped that. Hurricane Keith, the waves were breaking about 5 feet over mean high tide. So by the time they got here, it would have mellowed out to about 4 feet. So that probably would have escaped it, because that's probably, that building is about 6 feet above the mean high tide. The ground itself is only about 3 feet, but you add the 3 feet that's elevated, that's 6 feet. So there's a lot of real estate on both sides here. This Lighthouse Cafe, they looks like they went out of business, which is sad. But there used to be a little deli over here on the right. So no, there's not enough business to open up a business. So that's a sad thing. This is the dead season, so the season really doesn't start until the Halloween. I mean, literally the day after Halloween, November 1st. That's when people start coming down here. Halloween, Sanibel is not known for Halloween atmosphere, and a lot of people like to experience Halloween in a fall, not necessarily wintry like setting, but they like that nip in the air. So the Northerners, when they come down, they don't want to come down before Halloween. And then if it's an election year, they're not going to come down before the election. So you see then that the first week, or possibly 2 of November, is entertained with the election, anything else. So, but after the election in November, that's when season starts, and season will last until the weekend after Easter. That's when the snowbirds come down here. They'll stay here. Again, this area is not really known for Christmas. It's not. But if you go down McGregor, there are a lot of illuminary that are right around where Twin Pines, that road is, back towards the river. It's really beautiful to go out on Christmas Eve. And there's a couple homes, one on Chatterley that has a beautiful Christmas arrangement. And there's a couple on Briarcliff, right at the end of Briarcliff. That's pretty cool. So if you're here for Christmas, that's where you go. On Sanibel, I don't really know if Jerry's, Bailey's used to, the light posts, put this stuff on. I doubt Bailey's will do it this year because, yeah. Like this time we're gonna go backwards. We're gonna go this way. I don't know if we're gonna take the trails or not. I'll check out this way first. I see there's quite a few people that parked here. They weren't supposed to open this up until Friday, but I heard that they fixed the parking sooner than expected. So they opened it up like on Tuesday of this last week. So the city of Sanibel says they're going to waive waive the parking toll on Sundays for the next like 3 weekends. And again, I don't. You know what? They don't advertise this enough. The locals don't want to get charged $9 more of a Sanibel. They don't. It's ridiculous. Yeah, $9. They keep on saying, "Oh, it's $6." No, it's $9. It's $9. Don't get deluded. Don't listen to the government. It's $9, and sometimes the mail is late, and then it's $9 times 10. So, and the parking people here in Sanibel, they're the parking enforcement. They're the worst. They're the most communist people. They will look for any infraction and give it to you. And then you have to fight it out in court here, so which means you have to come across the island if you don't live on the island many times and incur that $9 fee. So it's not a fun thing. Locals have already been poisoned to that effect, so they don't really want to come out here. Locals, for the most part, go to Fort Myers Beach, and because now Lynn Hall Park in Fort Myers Beach is free, and there's a couple other places that locals know about that they can park for free. That's where they go, on Fort Myers Beach. I at this point, I kind of prefer Fort Myers Beach too, because I don't like really parking at Jerry's per se. I know I do like parking there, but for bicycling. But if I want to go to the beach, there has to be. Sanibel should open up one free area, like the old Tangiers. They should open up a spot, the whole thing there. That should all be free. Okay, so this is interesting. This is the new sandbar after Hurricane Idalia. This is awesome. So it's beach erosion caution. Okay, we have a beach bike. We're going to go after the erosion. So this sandbar you see here, this is brand new. Because Hurricane Ian, the beach was actually a little farther out here. It's farther out here, almost by 10 yards. Hurricane Ian. Idalia took that away. But this, well, it looks like a blind pass loop here. This is new. And there's a lot of clamshells here, I see. Just looking down. It's pretty awesome. I didn't bring my surf walkers, so I'm gonna have to bicycle across this, and it doesn't look like it's terra firma. So that's what happened. Hurricane Ian had made so the lighthouse was just touching the water at high tide, but Hurricane Idalia added on 10 yards. Now this beach will start. They'll be cut back and back. This looks like also a high tide. The tide probably is going out. This is probably. I mean, actually, it's got the appearance that the tide's coming in because of the way it's flowing. Yeah, the tide's coming in. All right. So let's see if I can make a run across this divide here. If I get my shoes wet though, it's going to be really upsetting. I'm going to try to navigate across this. Yeah, the water's coming in here. That would indicate the tide's coming in. There's a little sandbar over there too. But I'm gonna try this little inlet. See if I can pick up the speed. Wow. Made it. Made it. Oh, it's soft here though. Oh, I don't know if I want to make it. I'm on the lowest high gear. Oh. On the high mid gear, the lowest of that gear. I don't know. So far the shelling on Fort Myers Beach, comparing to what I see right now here, it's better on Fort Myers Beach. Right around Publix. But this is totally awesome. Oh wow. Almost really kaplunked there. Sand here has a quicksand / muddy texture, and because it's high tide, I normally would be bicycling over there and the tide's coming in. It does look like the seaweed is bunched up here a bit. A lot of the seashells I see here are broken, so like some of the fighting conch, even little fig shells like this. See, it looks good, but there's broken right here. So I'm not gonna pick it up. Oh, I guess it's just a local thing. The locals here who live in Lee County know that the best shelling right now is on Fort Myers Beach. Now, I can't say that for all seashells. Sanibel has its certain treasures. You can find it like Wentel traps, Chinese hats. You're only going to find that here on Sanibel. Somebody's fishing. It looks like this area, though, is a good area for fishing. You're going to find olive shells here, too. Only on Sanibel. You won't find that on... I mean, if you do find it on Fort Myers Beach, that's amazing. Wow. This sand is like quicksand, even in the water here, which means that the tide is running kind of high. Oh, wow. Gonna have to ride up here. Hopefully we can ride up here. It looks, anytime you have foot traffic, people are heavy and they'll compact the sand. So I see a lot of footsteps in this area, and it's helping out. That's for sure. I don't like riding over pen shells. Pen shells are very sharp. It's like mica glass. A lot of pen shells here. But the pen shells in Fort Myers Beach are less broken. Uh-oh. Security. So it looks like this is the only way out. So I'm gonna have to take this at the moment. Oh shoot. This thing is really quicksand. Oh. Wow. I'm gonna have to exit here. Amazing. Amazing I'm still bicycling. Alright. So, looking down the beach there, it looks like there's a big inlet, and I don't want to be bicycling like 500 yards through water, so I mean, I could, but I do hose my bicycle down with some fresh water. I spray it with oil when I get back home each day. I try to do that at least, let's put it that way. So they should be giving everyone Sundays a bone here. This should all be free, and it's not. They want people to come out to Sanibel. They gotta give them some bones. Anyway, the beach is beautiful. Shelling though, it's probably in a high tide area. If you have like one of those scoopers, you can probably get some good shells. But I'll try to go out on the beach again if I can get a public access, maybe in the Shell Harbor area. I mean, this technically is Shell Harbor too, but somewhere maybe around Loggerhead Cay, if I can get out there, I'll try to get out there. Let's check it out some more. Glad to see the drink fountains are there. I love this property here on the left-hand side. When they were building these properties, I'm not sure if the second or third floor they're made out of wood or not. By looking at it, it looks like it is. But the foundations are made out of concrete. Because I saw when they were building this thing, it looked really good. We'll go back on that East Grove Drive. And the Colony, I mean, I would love to buy that place. This place should be open. I don't know what the building stipulation is. I personally think that you should be able to open up as long as access to the property, to the beach, to the amenities for that specific units that are open is non-hazard. So the rest of the property could be under construction, but you should be able to open up parts of it. Like even this property here on the left-hand side, I like it. But these are still closed. I spent all that money on pavers, and then one of the 2 hurricanes come by, and now you have to spend another $10 million on pavers. And pavers have really shot up in value. That's why on Fort Myers Beach, people are stealing pavers, making pallets out of it. If pavers are going between $10 and $20 a piece right now, and you can make a pallet of 1,000 pavers, which is basically 10 by 10 by 10, then, wow, 10 by 10 by 10, which is 1,000 times 10 to 20, that's $10,000 to $20,000. Nice, like this sea grape. If it wasn't sand, I'd go down it, but one of these days I will. In fact, it might be today. Okay, I will. You know what? I have to venture off the beaten trail time to time. So, you know what? I've been looking at this road. I like the word sea grape. I already have business ideas in mind because I used to like Fort Myers. Let's put that back. I used to own a business in Fort Myers Beach, so I'm a little bit attached there. And I only got in because I ran into a good deal back in 1989. And it was a profitable business. The purchase price was low. I made a profit on operation. I made a profit on sale. See, look, all these properties here. This house we just passed looks fairly good. Look at this open piece of property. Nice. Look at this. On the left-hand side. Even on the right-hand side. See, people are just taking their sweet time here. I know these people had no insurance, so insurance is just way too much, way too expensive. So a lot of homes here got wiped out. And of course, just the homes that are built correctly are left standing. Okay, there's a boardwalk here. Darn it. We'll try it. So you see that tire curb here. All right. Let's see what happens here. Oh, of course we hit traffic with a dog, if not 2 dogs. Just 1 dog. Oh, just 1 dog. Oh, sorry about that. It was too tempting. I had the bicycle on the bridge.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love your puppy. So far, doing pretty good here. Just bypassing all the big potholes. And so, okay, so as we come out, it definitely looks like we're near high tide or between mid and high tide. This is the backwater beach. This is beautiful, actually. I'm glad I came out because this type of a beach is the type of beach on Sanibel that I expect to bicycle on. This is gorgeous, actually. So yeah, the water is making inroads. It's trying to push in deeper. That sandbar that's trying to, I don't know if it's trying to connect onto the beach or it just got pulled out from a dahlia and it's slowly working its way back onto the beach. You can see here, looking out to the right, that some sand was added. This grass that's growing over here on the right-hand side, this must have been taller than usual. But the Idalia has, Ian made the beach grow. This beach grew by at least 30 yards out. So we're way out, actually. A lot of new sand piled up here. But Idalia added, looks like about half a foot. So Ian added maybe a foot in elevation and 30 to 40 yards. And Idalia added, well, if you count that sandbar, Idalia added almost 20 yards here, plus a half a foot in elevation. So that's how Sanibel Island grows, by hurricane. And it moves. Hurricane removes some sand one end, the hurricane adds sand like it did here. I'm just surprised that Blind Pass is still intact. You know, that whole passing, that bridge should have been wiped out, especially Hurricane Ian, because that had the power to do that, but it didn't. So we lucked out. So this little backwater thing, I'm riding over it was like a tire track that came through here this morning. And there's a lot of driftwood there. You gotta be careful. If I run over that driftwood, that would instantly pop the tire. And there is some, okay, so now the beach is kind of going away here. Not only is it going away, but it's getting really soft. Okay. All right, so we're gonna have to make a decision. I see looks like 500 yards ahead of me, the beach becomes normal again. Question is, do I want to ride on the beach? Don't really know other options here. No, it's all right. So good across this mud flat. All right. All right, the tide is coming in. That's a problem. All right, let me analyze the situation. It's a lot of water to ride on. All right, we'll try it. Make sure I'm in the lowest gear possible. Oh, it better not be soft. Oh, it feels soft. That's the problem. Oh, wow. It's soft. Oh, it's like bicycling through mud, like 3 inches of mud. Oh, wow. Normally it would be like this if they were dredging offshore. The only thing, if there's anything redeeming about it, this could really ruin the tires though. I really shouldn't be doing this because water will seep into between the tire and the tube and cause a whole bunch of problems. And I'm just doing it for one little brief thing and doing it the entire length of the beach. I see coming up though, I have to exit right here. There's no adjoining beach. So I'm gonna have to go here. All right, that was a little small crossing. Let's see if we can bicycle back here. All right. Not really. They must have had a high tide last night. So that's got to be what this erosion is. Which is good because they need the sand pushed back here, fill in some of the low spots. Hurricane Ian made a whole bunch of inlets and inroads, whatever you want to call them. So and Hurricane Idalia seems to want to fill those in. I'm not saying that it didn't try to create a couple inlets itself, but all right, so from here we have 100 yards where the beach looks okay until there's another inlet. Hopefully this will hold out. Some people park their boats here. It's pretty awesome. There's got to be a bathroom around here. They must own property on shore. Again, I don't want to pay the $9 every time coming around Sanibel. See, it's okay. So there was an inlet right here. It looks like, I don't know about Idalia, but maybe Idalia, definitely Ian, could have created that inlet. So it's so visible. It needs quite a few more high tides like this to fill it in. Alright, so now the beach is getting nice to bicycle. This is the nice surface. And now I can see the beach now is widening up to like it should. So this is going to be pretty good. Oh yeah, this is nice pedaling. Terra firma, oh definitely. Oh, this is nice. See, that's now we're on soft sand. Okay, now it's getting a little more harder. Okay, not too bad. All right, this is okay. If we can stay like this, It's not ideal, but it's a semi-soft, but it's hard enough. Actually, I like pedaling back over here. Let's see, there are less seashells over here. And it's kind of muddy over here, but the mud hardened up to make it nice terra firma. Running out of mud. Getting driftwood. Oh, wow. Soft. Anyway, this is what it's like bicycling on Sanibel at high tide. You don't have much choice. The best choice is just to get off the beach, but I don't see. We're passing by Sandalfoot. That's Sandalfoot going by, and then you have, I think it's called Bayview coming up. Those things are made out of wood. There's a White Pelican somewhere around here. We may have passed it. I think we passed it. White Pelican, and then comes Sandalfoot, and then comes Bayview. But look how few people are here on the beach. I mean, being 10 o'clock in the morning. Hello. So this is kind of, I mean, I'm not surprised because the family season left the Labor Day weekend. They had to get back. So there's an inlet cut there too. I don't know if that was Ian or Adalia did that, but there's not enough people coming to the beach here in the past year to fix a lot. Because anytime there's people, even if people lift half a finger, you add all those half a fingers together, that could be a scoop of sand here or there every single day. And you add in 365 days, you know, you get 365 scoops of sand. That can make a significant impact in filling in some of these. So we're passing Sanibel Arms, and it's nice to look at them from the beach because obviously this is the real estate of choice, and you want to see how it fared after the hurricane. So the lower units are still open to the air. They're completely wiped out. Like a wave went through there, wiped out all the walls and doors and windows. So you can still look straight through. The front, there's nothing. There's no door. It's all gone. And the back, the screen enclosures, they're all wiped out too. So you can look straight through it and see the building behind it. Sanibel Arms. This is Sanibel Arms West here. Looks like they're redoing the roofs that need to be redone. So I like how they have the air conditioning on top of the roofs. I don't know if that's a new feature or not, but when you have a flat roof like that, you should utilize it. The seagulls here are waiting for handouts. They're like, hey, where's the chicken? Where's the Baileys? Or, well, I don't think they remember the Beehive, but the Beehive had really good chicken too. Oh, wow, now we're on the bad seashells. All right, so we're gonna have to bail. Problem is we can't bail here because it's fenced off. We're gonna have to wait till we get to that Loggerhead Key. Let's see, maybe I could bicycle over here. Soft. I can see the impression that the footprints and the tires that this, it's way too soft. If you don't see footprints, but you see a lot of compression like shoes, you know it's hard enough that it's okay. But when you see footprints like that are making deep impressions, no, the bicycle tire will go deeper than that. It looks like there is some terra firma coming up in about 100 feet. So I'm just gonna make it through this 100 feet gambit. The waves coming into Sanibel have a little chop to them. I mean, I would say it's a 1 to 2 foot surf going on, which is interesting because there's no wind. So there has to be some storm or something south of here, or a storm that's in the Gulf that's whipping up currents enough that's causing the currents to make that surf. but that's usually rare. Usually you'd have to have thunderstorms. I mean, I see a big thunderstorm just south of here. Probably that's as far away as Key West. Because if you look due south, which would be on the left, that's Key West in that same direction. But I don't think that thunderstorm would have enough power. All right, so we just passed Song of the Sea, and we're here at the, I still call it the Shell Harbor Best Western, but it was the Sanibel Inn, it was the Hilton, and I don't know what it's called after that. It was the Sonesta Sanibel at one point, I think. And they're fixing the roofs. But this area right here is beautiful. The sandbar, now there's two. There's one that's way out there, about 40 yards. And the water is crystal clear salt water. Wow. So this area would be excellent seashells in the surf. Both out there on the sandbar and right up here. And in between the sandbars, tons of excellent live seashells. And this here is good bicycling terra firma. I like it. You can see it only lasts about 50 to 100 yards. And then it changes again. Careful. Oh, it's a perfect terra firma. Perfect. Hello. Oh yeah, this is nice. Oh wow. Nice and firm. No seashells in this area. Okay, I think I just passed the public beach access. I think Narita Street coming up has access, so if we could just go a little further, we'll go up on Narita Street. This is gorgeous. Look how far out that sandbar is. That's about 40 to 50 yards out. Gorgeous. And you can see that it gets higher and higher, and it looks like it merges with the beach way up there. This is amazing. Morning. Yeah, okay, now I see the seashell patches coming up. This is going to be harder on the tires. If I can bail, I'll bail. Or if I can find a way to navigate through this minefield of seashells. See, this is all Florida common shells. It's amazing that Fort Myers Beach is not inundated with the same seashells. But these common shells are uncommon to Fort Myers Beach. But they're very common here to Sanibel. The Florida common shell, that's a real ancient seashell. It's getting better over here. Morning. So it looks like they didn't get much accretion in this area of beach, or Adalia took some away, took it out into sandbars. But the sandbar out there is pretty high, and it's out there. So if you add that in this part of the terra firma, then they did add some beach. Just that the beach was pushed inland, creating this kind of like bio area between the waves, the main breaking surf, and inland. So again, Adalia pushed a lot of sand inland, building up the inland part of the island, which is good. You need that. A lot of clamshells, a lot of pen shells. I see heart cockles, but again, not in the pristine condition that Fort Myers Beach has them in. Okay, this is just awesome. Oh look, there's a building over there getting termite or cockroach. And here's an inlet here too. So it looks like, yeah, that's an inlet. I was going to say maybe it's a walkway, but no, that's an inlet. Okay, so we came out on a last week when I took my bicycle ride here. I came out on Narita Street, so which means that we could probably get back on it, and I think it's right here. Right here's the access. Yep, this is it. Or should I go further? Okay. Golly. I'll go further. Because the beach looks so nice at this point. Alright, we'll go further. Let's see what happens. we can drive all the way down to Tarpon Bay. Hello. That'd be excellent. Okay, so I don't know what the name of this place was. I used to call it, because I didn't know anything better, I used to call it the Holiday Inn. I don't know what this place is called. There used to be a Holiday Inn here. First it was the Ramada Inn, and then it became the Holiday Inn. I don't know if it could be up there where those brown roof buildings are. That could be the Ramada / Holiday Inn. I don't know what these buildings are called. But it looks like they were devastated. Again, the skeleton crew here, because nobody wants to pay $9 to come over here. Not even the owners want to come here. Okay, so far this has been a good choice. I'm looking ahead at the beach, and it looks like as far as the eye can see, for a good mile on the beach, we have excellent bicycling sand. So, all right, well, if that's the case, we're going to take advantage of it. See, here's an inlet here. This was cut for a dahlia. See that? They cut that inlet. Now it's a saltwater mosquito breeding area. So it's going to take a whole bunch of high tides to fill that in. So the condo that's as far as you can see there, where Sanibel kind of bends to the north a little bit, that's the Sundial Resort. And I could tell by looking up there from this distance, that's where the beach terra firma changes. There's another inlet here. Okay. Inlet to nowhere. This creates a saltwater mosquito breeding ground, and no CMs like that stuff too. Again, looks like the sandbar is trying to merge here. And I can see above 500 yards straight ahead that it does merge, but it's still gorgeous. Look, that building there still has not been fixed. Obviously, you know, it would have been fixed if they had insurance. Well, I can't really even say that, because homes in this area, they pay you out the low value, which is like $150,000, and then you take that $150,000 and but that's per unit. So that's at least 4 units there, potentially 8 units. So that's 150,000 times 8. You know, they could have easily pooled their money together and fixed that roof and fixed some of the, looks like they had hurricane aluminum roll down shutters. They could have easily fixed that. I think this is the Sundial, this brown building right here. And you can see that they fixed it up. I see a couple of mobile homes here, but it's not called Gulf Place. I think Gulf Place or Gulf Side or something. That's the condos that I like. All right, now I did see water flowing out of the hedges there. We just crossed that little tidal fan. So there was a high tide earlier today. So water was up that high because it didn't rain here. A lot of seagulls. Here's another inlet that tried to be carved, slowly filling in. With every tide, parts of the speech are being pushed into that void. The seagulls are saying, okay, we're here. Where's the bread? Where's the chicken? The speech is getting soft. We may have to exit. Now I can see here on the beach where the sandbar is, where it's merging right now, the seashelling is excellent. This lady I don't know what she's doing, but I can see because there's a added color. Anytime you see added color, the size of the seashells are increasing in size, and it's packed with seashells. It may all be Florida common shells, but chances are, this being somewhat of a high tide, it's holding back all the good stuff in the surf. Once the surf recedes a little bit, it'll expose that. Okay, so this is the Sundial pool area. Now, Sundial has always notoriously been undermined by storms. These condos straight ahead, the water always seems to hit them and take away the beach. This time for Ian and Adalia, it added beach. So this is added beach, and the windows in the water is right there, and the pool is right in front of it. Obviously, they're not open, which is sad because otherwise there would be people on the beach, right? You can tell if a place is open just by seeing if there's people on the beach. And I can tell you, no place is open here on Sanibel. To me, that means that either the city of Sanibel are communist crooks and they won't give certificate of occupancies, even for minor stuff. You have to like spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to bring your property up to code, which is ridiculous because during a storm like this, you shouldn't be subject to bringing your property that was devastated on an act of not your own. I can see if you want to upgrade your property, but if your property got destroyed, regardless whether you want to fix it or upgrade it, you need to have the ability to not have to file a permit, to bring it up to code, or above code if you want, because of the act of nature that tried to destroy your property, which was not an act of your own. And for City of Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach and all these other corrupt cities for imposing these permitting, that's kind of a violation not only of your constitutional rights, but it's pouring salt on the wound because, you know, insurance companies are holding back. You want to just get on with your life. You're being taxed to death. There's no tax moratorium going on. So, yeah. So it's getting a lot of seashells here. I'm just looking down to see if I can see anything good, but mostly common shells. Florida common shells, though, are the best, breakwater. So they're the best beach building shells. Blind Pass has a ton of them, and that's pretty much what saves Blind Pass from being eroded away. Okay, this is Gulfside Place here. I love these things. These things are built concrete from head to toe. These things will survive anything. If you want to buy a condo on the beach, Middle Gulf Drive here, Gulfside Place, these are the places to buy. They're not cheap, but they will survive. Okay, now the sand is getting extremely soft here. Hold on, I gotta get off. Dismount the bike, and let's see if we can. I'm pretty sure we can get through because Gulfside Place doesn't have a permanent barrier. And maybe I can bicycle over here. This is looking kind of firmer over here. Not right here, but right up here. I can see footsteps, and I can see. It looks a little firm. But yeah, we're gonna exit the beach. It's a little too much. I want to give the tires the ability to rotate on regular asphalt, try to squeeze out whatever water got in there, and any shells or sand to grind them down and not cause a potential tire puncture. All right, so this is something here. We're gonna try it. Oh wow, soft sand. Oh wow, really, really soft sand. I sunk down about 3 inches there. Let's see if this is solid again. So that's probably one of those intertide. Oh, very soft, very soft. That's one of those intertide inlets that was being filled in from the extreme high tide. So the beach here is on the move. All right, let's see. Can we get in here? Good question. Looks like we can this way. And all the sand is soft, and it did. I'm trying to see if it rained here or not. Oh wow! Oh, that was a whole berth of not good sand spurs. I keep on forgetting sand spurs, and they are lethal to a bicycle tire. Make sure if you go over grass with sand spurs, make sure you take the sand spurs off before driving on pavement, because they are sharper than anything. They will penetrate everything deep, like 4 millimeters thick, easy. Just by touching one, they'll penetrate. They're like almost sharper than bamboo. Okay, so yeah, you can see the tide came all the way up here. This is all tidal water. It's amazing. Now, bicycling on the grass here is an option. Let's see. Don't want to bicycle on the water, because that's definitely mud there. All right, let's see if we can bicycle at all here. I don't even know if I'm bicycling on water. Well, it's got some firmness to it. So it looks like go over here and see what happens. Check out this area. All right. So these are new walls they put in. Oh, great. Still working on it. These were storage, but for the most part, just storage and car parking on the ground floor. And again, 12.5-foot surge. So the first floor was debatable because they were subject to a 1 to 3 foot surf on top of the surge in this area. So the first floor may have gotten a little bit. It all depends on how tight they were able to seal their rooms. And these places are made extremely well. So they may have, all units here may have survived to a great extent. I don't see really any roof repair damage. I'm just amazed that there's skeleton crews everywhere. That's what I'm really amazed at. I'm amazed that they don't, this place should have come back online. It's built so well. All right, so we made it. Yeah, Middle Gulf Drive. There's no cars either direction. It's that dead here. If you're a real estate company, you want to get that bed and breakfast Airbnb going with these private homes, because they want to make money. You want to make money. The problem is that $9 toll. You have to get through people's heads that, and people don't really like spending. I was in Jerry's, and they're unabashful in charging you premium. It's like going into it's like 7-Eleven prices basically. All the stuff inside Jerry's is a 7-Eleven price. So if milk would normally cost $3, it's $6. Orange juice, yeah, right now it's ridiculous. But if orange juice was normally, let's say, $6 a gallon, now you're paying $12. Yeah, it's even more expensive than Publix. You know, I should go down to the Signal Inn, but I forget it. Almost. Yeah, they need to fix the bicycle path here. This is uneven pavement. Come on, there's more bicycles going than cars. I'll have to bicycle on the road where there's no traffic. Any real estate here in Sanibel, I prefer the Shell Harbor area. I do have a little affinity also with Blind Pass. And if you've been down the Blind Pass, most of it's wiped out. So the Santiva General Store is wiped out. Lazy Flamingo is wiped out. The Mad Hatter Restaurant's wiped out, or whatever was down there. There's really nothing down there anymore. It's just a lot of real estate with for sale signs on it. Empty real estate, flattened. So, and that's another thing. Lee County may acquire some of that land, so they may open up free public parking, which would be awesome for off-islanders to come here. Okay, I'm seeing the water on the left-hand side is a little high, so yeah, it's indicative showing that there is a slight high tide going on. You know, this water. I mean, there is the Sanibel River somewhere up here. We're going to go over a little bridge here, so there could be a little inlet flowing through that river, and then. Oh wow! Hello. I don't know. When I say hello to other bicyclists, I expect them to say hello back. My tires are still emptying out. I can feel it, water and sand and shells. It's the Sanibel Cemetery. But yeah, there is a little bridge we're crossing up here, so the water here could have been backfilled. Let me see how high the creek is. See, there's a lot of water on the left-hand side here, high standing, and the right-hand side. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this water is only 2 feet below the bridge. Yeah. Which is good for the vegetation here because they all could take a drink. That's why it's all vividly green. I don't know if you witness it, but vegetation here is green. It's just high. It's salt water, so the ground has to be filtering that out. But that's okay, because during the off season, when rainy season ends, even the water in the canal here will go down drastically, because even during high tide, because the plants and everything, they will be, not only will groundwater be down because the plants are thirsty, the plants will suck every little bit of water that they can get their hands on, whether it's salt water or fresh water. They are going to ingest it, and that lowers the water table even farther. So even the tides can't really make it in here. Super high tide during the dry season barely makes it through here. It hasn't rained for a couple days here, so this water is all tidal water. But the plants here are not. I mean, it does get hot. It's probably about 92 degrees right now. This morning it was not as comfortable as the previous morning, but it was about 78. It was still nice. Alright, so again, any property on the left-hand side here, snag it. Snag it. This is one of the most undervalued. When I say undervalued, it's still expensive, but this is a soft underbelly. People forget about this area. So anytime you can snag property on Sanibel, nice big, either half acre or acre lots, nice, grab it. You have to build your house on stilts, factor 15 feet minimum before your first floor. But and try to build those stilts, everything out of concrete, reinforcement steel. Whatever you do, don't use a skeleton crew to build things. I know building things, I get exhausted really quickly. And then the procrastination sets in. You get exhausted, and if you're doing it by yourself, there's no one else to motivate you, you know. And then you start putting off those harder tasks, and those harder tasks become a roadblock. And next thing you know, you're putting off the entire job, because there are these roadblock tasks that each one of them takes a day if you're doing it by yourself. So whatever you do, don't be a cheapskate. Hire a crew. Don't go skeleton. Go what it takes. You know, you want two teams of at least 2 people. So a minimum 4 people per construction site, minimum. And I usually say, for each apartment that you're working on, you want 2 people. I know, it's a lot, but you'll get things done. You'll get things done within a month or 2. Everything will be done. Now, okay, maybe that is a little aggressive, but one person could maximum handle 4. So if you want to look at it that way, if you have a 200 unit place divided by 4, you need to have at least 50 people. And then the 50 people can group together. The key is you want to get places, you don't want all of them done at the same time. You want to do it by stage, so you can open up the resort. So you want to get one building done, open that to the public and start making money. Then get the next one done, open that up. So that's the way you do it. Morning. Another person that's not sociable. Alright, so Sanibel, Fort Myers Beach, definitely after Hurricane Ian took a haircut. Fort Myers Beach specifically lost about 80% of its foliage. And Sanibel hardly lost that much. Sanibel lost maybe a third of the foliage. Significant, yes, but because Sanibel is not. Sanibel was like, it had its long crews out almost religiously coming out and cutting it. Now there's no long crews, so the small scrub brush has a potential of growing. The larger stuff is not being cut back, so I wouldn't say there's a fire hazard, but because there's still a lot of moisture here and a lot of ground is saturated with water, so it's not really a fire hazard. But it's different. Sanibel's going through a cycle. This is a cycle that it will go through again. Maybe not for another 5, 10, 15, 20 years, but maybe 50 years. But it's a cycle to understand. And that's why you see these homes on stilts. You wonder why. Well, that's the reason why. It's not just code, which I think is ridiculous. I think if it's your property, you should be able to build whatever you want. You get hit with a hurricane, it's on your dime. No insurance, no FEMA. You're not smart enough to build your... But then again, I don't think there should be code either. I think you should be able to build whatever you want. See, if there was no code, there would be much more builders in this area, which would lower prices, much more supply. See how government just messes things up? They try to be communist, and communist kills everything. No, they need to get rid of that. They need to get rid of communism. Get rid of government regulations. It's useless. It does nothing. Did any of these regulations prevent this hurricane? No. Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Morning. Morning. So yeah, I've not seen one place open yet in Sanibel. I'm trying to think if I did. No. And that's the sad thing, because people are parking at the public parking spots. Unfortunately, they have to pay for them, which I think is ridiculous. I think the Tangier should be free. They should open the Tangier for free. So at least give one area where it would entice locals during the dead season right now. See, and Bailey's is not in. See, Bailey's would be... The Bailey's parking lot is closed because they destroyed the whole thing and knocked it down. Bailey's was a half-mile long free parking area. So, but now that Bailey's is closed and 7-Eleven is closed, and this place right here, they charge for parking, which is ridiculous. See? So there's a Tross parking lot. On arrival, pay for time. Arrgh. Ridiculous. Bunch of pirates here. Drink fountains. This is a reverse osmosis water. It tastes awful. What you really want is that evaporation water. The evaporative water is the best water. And if you have like an evaporation, if you have a well, you pump the water up. Okay, yeah, you have to have some filter on that. You do your carbon microfiltration. That goes into a reverse, not reverse osmosis. You can call the carbon fiber the reverse osmosis, and then it goes into a evaporation well, where it evaporates that into a high water tower. It condenses up in the water tower. That is awesome. That way you can evaporate at ground level, have it rise up and condense up in the water tower, and then you have fresh, clean water in the water tower. And you can do that by solar too, at least during the day. Just make sure that you water your yard like right at 6 o'clock in the morning. That way the solar will be out to evaporate to create more water for during the day for usage in your house. And that way at least you have water all night long in the water tower. And then just whatever water is remaining, then you water your yard with at 6 a.m. when the sun comes out. And you can start the cycle all over again. Morning. So anyway, it's really nice. There is one piece of property I want to take a look at though on Periwinkle Way. the old 5-star realty building. There was a for sale sign in front of it. Morning. The sidewalk is nice. It's nice and wide. I like this. But again, people used to park up here at Bailey's. Bailey's was kind of they didn't overtly object to people parking there, although it did consume a lot of parking. You know, and walking a half mile to the beach is not really a light skip. It's with a triple canopy like this, it's not too bad. Bicycling is even better, but walking, wow, half a mile in this heat, it's trying a little bit. But if you could park up there, drop off your family at the beach, and then come back and park at Bailey's, and just the endurance family member who wants to do that half mile down, half mile walk back, yeah, that's fine. See, then Bailey's would be okay. And most people, they're very good about that. Once they get to Bailey's, you know, they'll buy stuff. So Bailey's was cringing, but they were also benefiting. But now that they're gone, I wonder what the plans are for them. I heard that they're going to build an elevated Jerry's type of track, but here it is, right here on the right-hand side. This is what was Bailey's, no longer. See, I like that building, Mercantile, across the road. Very expensive, aluminum roof, be a good real estate office. Dock Ford's, excellent. See, this place right here, it's gone. Now all the trucks are gone too. Shouldn't be bicycling in here. Oh, that cop will come and give me a ticket. But anyway, the Island Cinema was the first building to go down, but that wasn't due to a hurricane. It was just due to nobody was watching movies anymore. And then Island Inn Road. That's a nice sand road, still there. Dock Ford's, that restaurant's open, so you could eat there if you're on Sanibel. Morning.
Hey.
Morning. People with nice electric bikes, they can. This shopping center on the left-hand side, I could have swore it was open last weekend, but it looks like it's under construction right now. Across the street there, you just scan by. That's 7-Eleven. They used to have gas tanks. They still have gas tanks, but I was told it cost $900,000 to fix them. So the guy didn't cut down the trees. He left the trees there. Didn't have any more fuel. Everyone forgot that there was a 7-Eleven in there, and then stopped going there. He lost all his money. Silly. Sanibel Cativa Trust Bank on the left-hand side. This is a liquor store here, but they're not open. Sad. They're still fixing the old gas. I really like this old gas station. I wanted to buy it as a real estate office, but now it's called the Grog Shop Island, or liquor, wine, and beer. So there was some properties on the right-hand side that came down Hurricane Ian. All right. So again, there's not enough business here. Jean's Books too. I like that building. That'd be a good real estate office over there. Right there. It's got potential. I have to look at everything here, because when you go to Street View and Google or Microsoft or everywhere else, they're still showing you pre-Ian imagery. This is where the Beehive used to be, but the original shopping center was knocked down, and they built this shopping center. So there's no more Beehive. It's right over here. Again, I like this building, even if I have to rent a little bit of it for a real estate office. But again, now we're talking, if I can't get a good deal, I really want to purchase the whole property and then do subletting myself. That's a nice parking lot, though. That costs money to put down. But for the city of Sanibel to swallow their pride and let that go in, mostly they want papers, which is astronomically high. Now this Wing store is open. One of the few stores, and there's also a rent-a-bike in the back there. It's one of the few stores that's open on the island outside of Jerry's. Jerry's, all the stores up top are open. So those stores that have a lease there at Jerry's, they are at least whatever minute traffic there is. And there's a church right next to Jerry's, and they're open too. So whatever minute people are on the island, Jerry's is scoffing all of them. So the store is empty again, Jerry's supermarket, but I've seen that their little restaurant there, which is, it's really a contradiction because Jerry's charges so much inside the restaurant, but then their restaurant charges so little for breakfast, like $6 an average for a breakfast, where you're not even going to get any six. You're never going to get a carton of eggs. Oh, a carton of eggs maybe $6. You know, it normally costs what, $1.50? Now in Jerry's, times that by 2, $3 maybe, maybe more. Again, all the places there on the left-hand side, I like. I think there was a Sanibel Bean restaurant left-hand side. Hasn't reopened. And it's still called Sanibel Bean. Here's a playground on the right-hand side. This land is owned by Sanibel or something, Sanibel Conservation Foundation. But it's got bathrooms here. And it's free parking. Free parking. So this is one of the free parking areas. So you can park here, park your bike and bicycle on the island. I don't know if you can get this to the beach here, but it's good to know that that's a free parking area. Now, they only really want you to be in there for an hour, so police may start marking your tires because they're communists here. This was the Island Cow restaurant. Right before Hurricane Ian, it got hit by a fire like 2 months before. So who knows how the fire started, but it was back in the oil fryer area. So yeah, if you have 500-degree oil, 3 or 4 gallons of that catches fire. Forget it. It's gonna burn 1,000 degrees. That'll flash everything over and burn the whole place to the ground. Again, there used to be little houses here on the right-hand side. They're totally gone. They were made out of wood. Again, this is a galvalume roofing here. Again, I don't like the dark color. It's only going to reflect 50% of the infrared at best, maybe less. Aluminum reflects 85% of infrared light. That's why you get it, because it's cooler. Now galvalume may be a little stronger, but you want to reflect the infrared light. That's what makes a building hot inside. So, you know, aluminum roof is only maybe 20% more expensive, but it reflects almost twice as much infrared light. So, there's a blue giraffe. Sad. Okay, so there was a church over there. I never knew there was a church over there. It says United Church of Christ. Wow. It's empty, but it's elevated, so it should be open. It's rare that it's not open. Or maybe it is open, no one knows about it. See, someone sold a lot of galvalume here because there's galvalume all over the place. I don't like it. Galvalume, when it's exposed to salt water, will rust within 5 years. It's not, and that's the problem with galvalume. Once it starts rusting, it's done. There's no way you can stop it. You have to put layers and layers of paint or something on top of it. It makes the roof look so disgusting. And then you lose all of the reflective coating capable. Then it absorbs all light, just like a regular asphalt roof. And because it's metal, it will retain the heat even longer than asphalt. Stand salt water, no problem. If you get American stainless steel, no problem. Chinese stainless steel, forget it. That stuff rusts in 1 year. Alright, so here's the property that I like coming up. So cool. It looks like it was sold. Wow, the for sale sign is gone. Oh no, there's a for sale sign. So this was 5-Star Realty. This building, of course, is all wood. It's got an aluminum roof, the cheapest aluminum you can get here, but obviously the storm pulled it off his foundation and just left it there. And they haven't done anything to fix it. So here's the people selling it. Just want to capture this for posterity. VIP Realty, Jim Hall, 239-850-3344. See, it's got a nice big piece of real estate here. See, what I would do is I would petition to open up a whole strip mall here, or food trucks or something. But look at this thing. So yeah, this building is. It looked like it was salvageable. It still may be, but it's all wood. And this thing was. Let's see, in this area, probably 8 feet of water. So you can see 8 feet was going right up to the roof. So everything got a nice 12-hour coating of water. So anything back here. I mean, you might be able to raise it up and level it again. And see, look, the electricals popped out of the wall. And you can see the building was here. You see these concrete bricks here, here. That building was over here. It got pushed diagonally, 8 feet off the foundation, and it settled over there. See, that was the middle foundation. So this thing, it took off at least 1 or 2 cinder blocks in the middle struts, and also took down the other foundation. So which means the plumbing could all be, it was pushed, and the PVC pipe was pushed. It was rolling on top of it. So that means the PVC could be shredded, and the toilets could be dangling. So all that needs to be repaired. I don't know if it's worth it or not. The roof looks salvageable, that's the thing. Right? Besides the roof. So this property over here is cleared. That's one thing about a hurricane, though. If you own the property, you're allowed to clear the property after a hurricane. So without a permit. So that's the Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation. So yeah, they're able, of course, government entities could break their own laws because they're crooks, but obviously they're clearing it and getting ready for development. That's how it works. They buy the land, call it the Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation. After a hurricane, they clear it, they plot it, and then they resell it, and then they steal someone else's land and call that the Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation, and then do that again. Wait for the next hurricane. Everything else gets wiped out. They clear their land, plot it, and then resell it and do it again. Because there's a lot of people that will sell out for a little bit of insurance money here. They're real cheap. Right after the storm, emotions run high. So they're willing to do that. Just sad. And the insurance companies force them to do that. The insurance companies say, sue us. They say, we can't afford to pay out that much, so sue us. And you're like, well, you took the policy. You should be reinsured. You should have enough money to pay out. And the insurance company said, yeah, well, we put it all in our pocket. And then bingo, lawsuit. And then you get nothing because the lawyers steal everything. Yep, that's how it works. So this is dead. This is dead. The amount of traffic coming on this island, I don't even know if it's going to support one restaurant. I don't. See, this church on the left-hand side, this is the reason people come on the island. This church. And it just so happens this church is right next to Jerry's. Right next to Jerry's. So they always have a mass here. This is where people congregate. So right near Jerry's, people are going to come. They're going to shop. They live on the island. They don't want to drive off the island. They don't want to pay $9 to come back on the island. So they're going to go to Jerry's. They say, okay, $9. What does that buy me? Nothing, but that's what they're going to do. I can make this turn because that car was looking kind of weird. But it ended up good. So this is Jerry's, and we're back where we started from. So hopefully you enjoyed the video and my ranting and raving. Sanibel's still a beautiful place, and when the tourists come mid-November to right around Thanksgiving, they're going to try to be here before Thanksgiving. I mean, some will come after Thanksgiving. There's going to be a surge in buying. So right now it's the lull before the storm. Because believe me, when the snowbirds get down here this year, they're going to want to wait out the election year here in Sanibel. All right, you guys enjoyed it. Until next weekend.